listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. We had some Green Bay Packers news break late yesterday as Packers wide receiver Christian Watson agreed to a one-year $13.25 million contract extension. Watson is currently recovering from a torn ACL he suffered last season. You can stay up to date on all of your Packers news by heading over to ESPN.com. On to Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers are struggling down in Texas as they've dropped back-to-back games to the Texas Rangers. Last night, the Brew Crew fell 5-4. Even with those back-to-back losses, though, the good news is Milwaukee still has a 6.5-game lead on the Chicago Cubs for first place in the NL Central and a 3.5-game lead on the Philadelphia Phillies for the number 1 seed in the National League. The Brew Crew's back in action today at 1:35, and you can hear that game right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
There aren't any Jasons 12 and under. That's a dead name.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
How many kids do you hear, hey, Marky? It might be almost to the point of Ruth.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
You love that name so much, you don't even go by it.
On 100.5 ESPN.
If you call me Mark, I'm fine. I like my name. I like my name a lot.
The ESPN Wisconsin app.
Wilde and Tausch.
And ESPN Madison on YouTube.
It's Wilde and Touch, isn't it?
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
I am not going to have all of the additions. The Jason Wilde, we're working through technical difficulty conditions. The Jesse Nelson has some sniffles and is going to miss addition today, and that means Hunter Vaughn is going to be in our Cousin Subs director's chair today, and we'll work to get Jason back. Of Wilde and Tausch. I don't have all the info. Beaver, it's on in Beaver Dam. We're on in Milwaukee. We're on the ESPN. We're on all of these different things. So I'm Mark Tauscher, and as we wait for Jason, a lot of interesting things kind of came across the desk yesterday, whether it was Matt LaFleur, whether it was all of the different pundits talking, but there's a couple of things that I want to hit on as we wait for Jason. And anybody getting a little nervous? Many Packer fans getting a little nervous about what everybody. I can't find anybody feeling anything negative about the Green Bay Packers right now. And I got to admit, just like when people are talking real nice about you, sometimes you get a little queasy. I think Jason has joined us now. Jason, is that accurate that you're starting to kind of feel like everybody is on board with what's going on, that the Green Bay Packers are – it almost feels, I think, everybody picked them except for Neek Foxworth, who lives in D.C. Are we starting to get to that point, and it's only week 2?
Yeah, I don't know. And great job, by the way, opening the show. I'm not sure what technical glitch we had. I'm sure Hunter will find a beautiful photo of me to put up on the video stream while we figure that out. I don't know about outside because, I'm not consuming that as much. I'm reading the other beat writers, but I'm not. You're my connection to Get Up and Unsportsmanlike and where people are talking about the Packers. I can tell you this, that locker room is really excited and really bought in. And I think they felt that way. You could feel it as training camp was winding down. Like they had a little bit of adversity with a couple of their crucial wide receivers dealing with injuries. Look, and Jaden Reed had a really nice game in the first game for a guy that's playing with a fracture in his foot. There was concern about Jordan Love and what he was dealing with the thumb and the surgery, but he was able to start doing stuff almost immediately with the 7-on-7 stuff. And it just felt like that kind of week between final cuts, even before they actually made the trade for Micah Parsons, there was the buzz. They could all feel that it might happen. And then Micah Parsons, I have to give him a ton of credit. Like, he's really come in and pushed all the right buttons. You and I were talking about this yesterday with what he said about Lucas Van Ness, right? And that connectivity there. And we were talking to Jeff Hafley yesterday, and Jeff Hafley was, so complimentary of not just the production they got from Micah Parsons, but the way he has gone about his business. And he's pushing for more snaps, and he's making a concerted effort to be connected with guys. And to your point, I think he has gone out of his way with Van Ness because Van Ness's snaps were the most affected by his arrival. So I think Micah Parsons has pushed what was already a really good vibe into hyperspeed. Now, they have to go out and keep doing it, right? And that includes against Washington tomorrow night. But they get off to a 2-0 start with the 2 games they had in 5 days out of the chute. I know fans will be really fired up, but I think the guys in that locker room will be too. And, I'm not saying that Tom Waddle's prediction on our Bold-a-thon is going to turn out to be absolutely positively right, and they're going to start the season 8-0. But you can't go 8-0 if you don't go 2-0 first. And there's a really good vibe in there. And I think there's, Tausch, when this news broke last night, I thought, what another little, I mean, not little to Christian Watson little, but what another little thing that brings this team a little bit closer together. He is extremely well-liked and well-respected in that locker room. And for him to get a 1-year extension, $13.25 million, Christian Watson now, if there's been a criticism that I've had of Goody, and I know there's been a few, one of them has been, doesn't necessarily feel like he always takes care of his guys, right? Well, they took care of Christian Watson yesterday. He doesn't have to now try to rush back so he can earn a contract for next year. And so I think all those things are starting to really align, and that's a reason to be really excited about this team from a fan perspective, because I think the guys in the locker room are that excited. Do you remember a time during
Jason,
your career?
Were you surprised? Because that news kind of came across. I think Schefter broke that I don't know what time. But were you surprised that happened?
I was very surprised that happened. Now, I can tell you this after the fact. I talked to Matt LaFleur in early February about a bunch of different stuff, just kind of on background. And the two things that I took away from that conversation were, one, he really wanted to run a bunch of two tight end sets. But he was really excited about that being a crucial piece of their offense. And two, he really wanted to figure out a way to keep Christian Watson, because I think he's truly one of LaFleur's guys. Like, I think, with the issues that they had with Romeo early on in the season, and the way Christian took a leadership role with that, with the I know people have forgotten this, but with the Drew Rosenhaus, Jaden Reed defining his role after the wide receiver selection of Matthew Golden, I really think that LaFleur appreciates not only the player that Watson is, with the fact that he can line up in every wide receiver spot, the fact that he is a unicorn in terms of his skill set, all those things, but he also really appreciates how he goes about his business. I think Tausch, I think the players that LaFleur really wants, I think he's on board with Goody's young player approach now. I think he really wants those types of guys in the locker room, because they, for one, will listen to him, right? As opposed to maybe Aaron Rodgers for a portion of their time together. But two, if he can get guys that are young but mature in their behavior, I think that's the sweet spot. And I think Christian Watson fits that role to a T.
Yeah, I love this move for both sides. I think it's one of the rare times that you see Goody being proactive with someone that's not a healthy prime, in their prime, Zach Tom. This is a move I think that you see, and I know Jesse's out today, but Jesse kind of poo-pooing, and I think a lot of fans down on Christian Watson. But when Christian Watson is healthy, and I know he's not as healthy as everybody wishes, trust me, I'm sure he feels the same way, but he is a difference maker when he's out there. And now you're getting him at a heavy discount for really a season and a half, and then you can kind of figure out, you'll know what you have with Matthew Golden. You're going to have a general idea who else you're keeping. But I do think, and this is something to watch, and I don't know where Romeo Doubs is at, but I know obviously what happened last season. And this, in essence, I think says that Romeo Doubs, the chances of him re-signing, I thought were light anyways. I think the chances of Romeo Doubs staying with this team past this season just got a lot slimmer. And the chances that he may be traded, I still don't think he'll be traded this year. Unless, but then all of a sudden those reports came out last night that 2 or 3 teams have offers on the table. I will be curious watching Romeo Doubs the next 3 or 4 weeks and how he handles this. Hopefully he is better prepared to handle some probably not great news on his perspective that his buddy got this extension and that he didn't. And maybe I'll be wrong on that, but that's the vibe that you get when you see a move like this.
Well, I think, first of all, I think that's an extremely astute point, and I'm not just saying that because I'm not looking at you, it's the truth. But I would also add this, I think, and you've talked about this so many times, right? And, we always talk about Eleanor's, feel your...
I think he was saying feel your feelings.
Yeah,
let's do this. Let's see if we can get Jason connected in a little bit better way. I'll tell you, if you need to get connected with someone to get new windows and doors, oh, baby, we got your team, and that is the team at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And when a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. We saw the Packers put some trust and commitment that Christian Watson's going to get healthy and become regain that form that we love when he's healthy. A lot of customers, they might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Order by the end of the month. Get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today. We'll hopefully get Jason back here. We got Brian Bulaga coming up at 9:30. Plenty of other stuff. The Christian Watson part of this is really interesting. I think it's awesome. But I also want to kind of dig into what that means to the rest of the receiving corps and where their minds are at. We'll try to get Jason back, and we'll do that next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Oh no, there's only seltzer left, and it's passionberry almond fruit? Who comes up with these? Kick the aluminum can to the curb and mix up a cocktail you actually want with Tito's. It tastes great, it's gluten-free, and it's available in a variety of sizes for your convenience. The flavor abilities are endless. Tito's Handmade Vodka, the official spirit of whatever you want to drink. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Grassland Butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family-owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going. Lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there. Stay tuned and go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesch.com to learn more.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
'Cause I'm a hazard to myself. Don't let me get me
Getting ready for Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. I'm not switching my internet providers, but I'm not happy with my internet provider right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, what's going on over there?
See if we can't get that straightened
let me tell you
out.
something.
Yeah, I think
I like talking.
I think our internet is out.
I ain't Rush Limbaugh. Yeah, I know we are. Where are you right now?
Well, he's dead. So I also, we have the basement studio, but if you're relying, what's so funny? You love me. You love the fact that I am a basement dweller, kind of like the YouTube
Howard
users.
Stern. These guys, I don't know how these guys do their show, but can you imagine doing 3 hours by yourself?
No. I don't want to talk to myself that much. I thought you did great, for the record. I thought you danced as quickly as you could and did a great job. You pushed
I'll say this:
and...
the Watson stuff, I think is really interesting, and I think when he comes back, I'm going to be really intrigued how that's going to look. But it's just that you get that feeling when everybody it almost feels like a consensus that Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it when there's at least a few. Like you can't watch Sunday and not feel really good about where this team is. But now I'm starting to. It's one game. Where's that balance as a fan? Like I'm trying to piece that together because I can't hone in the fact that I think this defense has got a chance to be incredibly special, and within that means big things. But I also want to. It's Wednesday now. Play tomorrow. I want to make sure there's an edge. You always are nervous when things are too good, that it's too good to be true. And I'm kind of at that point, and it's only week 2. So that's kind of where I'm at. There's too many flowers being thrown. Old linemen don't like flowers being thrown. We like it when you're kind of rough and a little bit tougher on us. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm torn on this whole, everybody's feeling good about what's going on deal.
So one of the things I want to get to today, if I'm able to stay on the show, was something that we talked about with Jeff Hafley yesterday. And, he's always preached 11 hats to the ball, right? You hear that all the time, and he's not the only one who does it. But he said he'd never seen it as good as it was against the Lions. And Jesse, I think, had that crazy stat that Jahmyr Gibbs caught 10 passes for 31 yards, and it was the fewest yards on 10 receptions in NFL history. Okay, your stat. Where'd you get that from, Jesse?
Schefter. No, I stole it.
Where'd you get that? Oh, okay. All right.
Get up.
Oh, okay. All right. But I think that bears out what Jeff Hafley said. On top of that, one of the things that we heard a lot about yesterday from LaFleur and Steno was the fact that the running backs were picking up blitzes at a level that they had never seen before. And Tausch, my question for you is, those are the kind of effort and behind the statistics type stuff that when your team is doing that, isn't that an encouraging sign that they're bought in? Because those two things are not stuff we normally talk about. And the fact that those were so noticeable when I broke down the film and that they were talked about so much, I thought was really telling to me. Is that a fair view, or am I putting too much into that?
Maybe a little bit, but I think what you're saying is you find your role. And if you can get players to accept and flourish within their role, and just looking back at seeing some of the guys that came back from the Super Bowl team, and Brandon Jackson is one guy who never got a ton of playing time and is never a featured back. But boy, he would come in on third down, and I can still remember the coaches talking about he had tight hands, and they felt great about him being one of those guys that would pick up blitzes. And when you started talking about that, that's finding a role. Even though I've never met an NFL player that doesn't want to start, shine, and get paid big bucks. Eventually, you kind of start finding out, this is how I'm going to make a career in this league. And when you get guys that buy in, and it's harder to do with younger players, that is one of the challenges that Goody has with how he builds rosters is you have a lot of young players that want to shine. And you have to mix and match that with guys that will fulfill those roles and that are okay with it because they understand that's how they make a living. And then those young guys start seeing that, and you start figuring it out. But chasing to the ball and 11 hats, that needs to be the norm. I think that's where the great defensive coordinators have and everything else have gotten that to be coaches, I don't know if it was a Chiliism or if it was a different coach, but you always heard, I don't want to coach effort. Coaching should be technique. It should be scheme. It should be, adjustments. But if you have to coach effort, you're coaching the wrong group. And if that's the case, and that was not the case on Sunday, there will be some games that you will not see guys flying around. And people will say you came out flat. I'm telling you right now, you hope that that's not the case. You'll find that it will be. But with everything and with Micah and the home crowd and the excitement, if you didn't have it then, when would you? Now let's see if you go into a sleepy Cleveland in a week. If then you have that and you see it, then you're now seeing that this is going to be the standard. And that's why Mike Tomlin always says the standard is the standard. Well, you want to live up to that standard as much as you can, knowing you're probably not going to get there every week, but you can get as close to it as you can. And I think the nice part is Sunday, the first game, really set a high bar for what that standard needs to look like.
All right, before we get to Brian Bulaga, and we lost me as I was talking about this, as I quoted the great American orator Eleanor Tauscher, feel your feelings. I thought you made a really good point about Romeo Doubs. I feel like I think he had a fairly clear idea of what this season needed to look like for him. And that was no matter what happens, no matter what your feelings are, you can make yourself a hell of a lot of money, probably from someone other than the Green Bay Packers, if you ball out. And I still think that that's the case, right? I mean, he had two big-time plays. He led them in receiving yardage. He only caught 2 balls, but one went for 20 yards and one went for 48. He is a good player. Now, is he a number one? No, I have never believed that. He is a number 2 type wide receiver. But in the NFL, to have a very successful offense, you need a really good number 2 receiver, right? A guy that on 3rd and 7 you can trust. And I think Jordan Love feels that way, and I think Matt LaFleur feels that way. So I agree with you that the news yesterday, which I'm sure Christian Watson, being Christian Watson, tipped him off that it was coming, so he wasn't blindsided by it. But I don't think that it changes anything because I don't think he had his hopes up of getting a lengthy extension from the Packers anyway. I'm assuming, remember when we had Micah Hyde on and he told us that toward the end of the 16 season, that would have been his last year?
That Evan Williams was a clone of his? I do remember that, yeah.
No, when he said that they told him with 6 games left in the year, they weren't re-signing him. I'm guessing that maybe Romeo Doubs in a different way was told something similar to that. So make the most of this year and you can really do good for yourself and for your family. So I don't think he was surprised by this. At the same time, I do wonder how he will handle that news too, because I do think it's a very legitimate question by you.
Do you think, and I know there's injuries, but your bold prediction for Boldathon, is it more likely to happen now that this happened?
Maybe slightly. I mean, again, you said injuries. Like right now, they got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. But, sometimes you spill a giant pot of marinara sauce all over the floor and you got to get rid of that guy. And then you get somebody else who, burns their hand on a hot griddle and they're sidelined from the kitchen for a while. This isn't a great analogy. But I don't think they want to move him as long as there's no sort of issues that come along with having him, if that makes sense. And I don't think, look, I've been critical of him, and I don't apologize for that. But I think he knows the score now. I think he knows he's got to strike against him for what happened last year, whether that's fair or not. And that's how the NFL works. And I think he's looking at it as, all right, whatever happens, I have got to roll with it. My conversations with him, I don't know if you remember, but he's very even-keeled. My conversations with him he has been even more reserved than previously. I think he's very much in the mode of, I am going to be all business. I'm not going to give the media anything at all. And I'm going to go out there, play my game, and then let the chips fall. And if that means I get traded at the trade deadline, fine. If that means I finish with 750 yards. I was talking to Josh Jacobs about this yesterday. Because he said Romeo is more vocal than he is around us, which I thought was interesting. And then I asked him about all these guys that they've got in the wide receiver group. I said, your captaincy was the least surprising selection of anyone to me. And I wondered if that was something he felt like he needed to monitor, the wide receivers. And because it's all great that they won on Sunday, and the most receptions by anyone was Jaden Reed with 3. And a bunch of guys had 2, and then a bunch of other guys had 1. 10 different guys having at least 1 catch. And I said, is that sustainable? Like, you guys are going to say that everybody's happy with that, but there are guys striving for contracts, and they do care about targets, and they do care about their stats. And he said, well, absolutely they do. And he said, it is something that we have to watch. But he said, for right now, as long as we're winning, it's not a problem. But what are you going to do? And I thought this was the point. Like, he said, look, guys in this league now, with the way the numbers have gone for wide receivers, and I don't think he was being bitter as a running back, but maybe a little bit, guys that get 750 or 800 yards in a season are getting paid a ridiculous amount of money, he said. And I think he's right. So there's a lot for Romeo to play for. So even if he's upset, he has to be smart about how he handles it. We want to get to Brian Bulaga somewhat on time. It looks like maybe my internet is reconnected, but I'm not trusting it just yet. So, Tausch, I know you trust Tito's when it comes to your favorite infusions and muddles and every other drink you enjoy except pickle juice.
I love 3 things. I love a lot of things, but 3 things: football, firing up the grill, and a solid cocktail. And whether it's a Sunday game, a Saturday game, or a Thursday night game, Tito's handmade vodka is my go-to. Made in Austin, Texas, at the first legal distillery in the state, Tito's is 6-time distilled for a clean, smooth finish, and it goes great with everything. Put it with a Gatorade. Put it with pickle juice. Make a transfusion. Make a Bloody Mary. Just make sure that it is always Tito's in your glass. And Tito's make a great drink, and they also give back in a big way, partnering with nonprofits and doing real good out in the communities across the country, especially for our 4-legged friends. So next time you're raising a glass, make sure it's Tito's handmade vodka that is in it. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Given their love of dogs and your love of Tito's, when are we any closer to Tito the Tauscher family dog?
We are not.
Okay, I was afraid that was the answer. We are close to talking to Brian Bulaga. He joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, it's football season, and for teams at every level across the state, but especially our favorite team up in Green Bay, it will be as important as ever to rely on players and schemes that are consistently dependable and successful. Consistently dependable and successful. Hey, that's also how I describe the service team over at Zimbrick Chevrolet. From routine maintenance to emergency issues, the service team at Zimbrick Chevy gets the job done right and works with you every step of the way. You can take my word for it. Zimbrick Chevrolet is truly the name you can trust. View their inventory, schedule a service appointment, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Jake Buckles, Sauk Prairie High School. Jake, welcome.
Thanks for having me on here.
Man, we go way back. 4-year starter you're going to be on offense, third year on defense, especially in football. I know basketball and track as well, but particularly football. What does it mean to you to be an Eagle?
It means a lot to me. Wearing that jersey every night, it means a lot to me. Walking out with my teammates every night, seeing the fans.
When you look back in your time, you still got your senior year, but what are you going to remember most about Sauk Prairie High School?
I think the most thing I'm going to remember is just all my football memories. Sauk's a good school and stuff like that, but I feel like I've learned the most lessons from sports. Pushing, when stuff's hard, you keep trying to improve and keep trying to get better.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brian Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has 0 bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here in this big city we're in, but when I go back,
knock on wood, I think we are past our technical issues at Casa de Wilde, and just in time, so I get to enjoy one of my favorite things that we do throughout the week, our time with Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. Brian, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Better now. Tausch was awesome for the first segment when I ran into some technical problems, so thank you for his service. But now I think we're up to full speed and full strength, so it's great to have you. I would have brought this up had I been able to be on the program early. I want to talk to you about the offensive line. I want to get to that. But before I do, I was mentioning this to Tausch. The Micah Parsons effect is real. And I'm really intrigued by the way it's connecting guys on that team. And I'm curious if you ever remember, I know he was older, but maybe when Peppers showed up or something, do you remember anything that really got you guys going
in terms of connectivity to each other?
I don't recall like this, or I guess the way this is having that impact. Maybe it was never like that because, as a team, I always thought like we already had that guy in the building and that guy played quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, so everyone already felt like that guy was in the building and we could already, you could play off of that already, right? Like if you did what you needed to do, that guy created the opportunities for everyone, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of what Micah Parsons does for everyone on that defense. And, and obviously offensively, the defense does their job. It puts the offense in very good positions that they can go do their job, right? So we felt like that, offensively. I think what he's doing for them defensively, right? I mean, whether it's placebo effect, I don't think it's placebo effect. I think it's very clear if you look at the tape what he does for them defensively. He creates a lot of good situations for guys. He just does. He puts guys in a lot of really good positions, a lot of one-on-one positions that they haven't seen, or maybe they've been in those situations, but for some reason they think that they're not in those positions because, they in some way they don't feel like they're, getting doubled, or there's the center sliding to me, or there's a tight end over here, so I'm really not in a one-on-one. No, you're in a one-on-one situation because number one is getting double teamed. Like that's the guy that's getting double teamed. He just is. Like, so don't think you're getting double teamed. He's getting double teamed. Or chipped or thumped, or the back's releasing over there, or no matter what, everything's happening. All the action's going to number one. So like, if you're away from him or whatever, it's up to you to go win. And guys did that, right? Like you saw that consistently. And then on the back end, like the DBs understand it, right? He's going to create that time clock in quarterbacks' heads that is just a click early. Like the quarterbacks feel like, if I hold this for a half second longer, Parsons is going to be there and I'm going to get sacked. And what do? Like, do I hold on to it for that half second longer, or do I take the risk and get rid of it? And then when, you take the risk and get rid of it, DBs can jump those routes. And we saw them doing that. And like, that is what Hafley's defense is all about. That is the 4-man rush. That was what the Seahawks did so well. That is like what made like this defense, when it was, deployed so well in Seattle, that I remember playing, like that's what made them so good, is that like the pass rush made that secondary. They had great players in the secondary, but when you knew the pass rush was going to get home, those DBs can be aggressive. And that's what we're going to see here going forward, because if LVN and Gary and Parsons and all these guys, start getting home very quickly, these DBs can start being more and more aggressive.
So, Blue, when you watched it on Sunday and you saw the energy and the juice, what did you make? The Parsons effect is real, but is this something that now you can say, and I said this on the postgame show, been a long time. I asked Jason, he didn't have an answer, that this is going to be a defensive-led football team. Agree, disagree?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's one thing for certain, and it's going to be a team that can always rely on that game in and game out, right? Like, I mean, the offense can have a bad game or a so-so game, and that part of the football is always going to be there, right? Always going to perform that is. Now, there's going to be times where the defense get up 1-20. These things happen.
There we go.
Oh, now am I not having?
Oh, you were you were super choppy. Yeah, we couldn't hear you. So,
and
all right, continue.
God, I just assumed it was me.
What's going on with the?
Yeah, we got some internet stuff.
We're working on it here. We're working on it.
Oh, my goodness.
Figured out. Jesse, I think Jesse knew this was happening, and he's leaving it in Hunter's lap today, which is genius by Jesse. So, Blue, I didn't hear you. Did you say yes? It's a defensive-led team, because there's no doubt. I think it's going to be hard to move the football effectively consistently against this group. And
we're
just
I agree
used to the quarterbacks running the show and being, like you said with Aaron and with Favre, hey, they'll bail us out of things. Now it almost feels like, well, you know what, if we have a rough game or if Jordan throws a bad pick, the defense will bail you out. And that feeling hasn't been here from the start of a season. I think in 2010 there was a feeling that the defense would make plays. I know in 2009 we felt like the defense would make plays, but not to this degree. And that's why I said what I said, and I feel pretty good about it.
No, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. I think when you look at it, they're set up to, like, pretty much what they did to Detroit the entire game, right? Like, make them earn every yard, and if teams are going to go the distance, they're going to have to go and earn every yard, and then eventually this defense stood them up and made them kick a field goal, get 3, and give the ball back to the offense. And, like, that's demoralizing on offenses, as you know. Like, you go through these drives and you go down the field and you stall out and kick 3, right? And then Green Bay gets the ball back and it's 7 real quick. It's like, I mean, you never gain ground. And, like, I think you can rely on this defense week in and week out to continue to perform that way, right? Like, and I'm not saying the offense gets a break, right? I'm not saying, they could take a week off. Like, they don't have to go do their job, and if they don't improve, that's okay. Like, no, they need to continue to improve and get better. But I think you can rely on that side of the ball to continue to put up performances like that, because that wasn't a fluke by any stretch of the imagination. No. Like, that's not a fluke. That's not an accident. I saw performances from guys. No. There were performances from guys that, like, I felt was a long time coming. Like, Quay Walker looked phenomenal. Cooper looked phenomenal. Gary and LVN looked. I mean, guys that you're like, okay, when is this going to turn for these guys? And it did. Like, they looked great, right? Like, and listen, I don't know if is it Parsons? Is it second year in the scheme? What is it? I don't know what it is, but finally, like, coming good to, like, what they were drafted for, right? Like, all the potential, all the talk, like, they put it on display, and, like, it was very fun to watch, like, very fun to watch live and then to watch back, because it looked as good watching back as it did live. Like, that is for sure. Like, that was the fun part about it.
So, Blue, when you looked back at that, you looked at the tape, and we'll get to O-line too, but what really stood out? I mean, obviously the pass rush, but you said Quay Walker. I haven't heard a ton of that. Everybody's raving about Coop. What did you see from Quay that you loved?
I think everyone, yeah. I mean, Coop obviously had a bunch of tackles. I think he had like 12 or 13 tackles. I think he led the team, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't look at the finals. I'm not a big stat guy. I know Mike McCarthy taught me that, big stat guy. But if you watched Cooper and really watched Cooper the way he was, filling and things like that and flying around, Quay did the same thing. Quay didn't miss gaps. Quay wasn't out of position. He was downhill, physical, filling really well. Like, what Hafley did really good with this scheming against Detroit, a lot of quick one gap line stunts, right? Like, D-line moving one gap and vertical. And the linebackers did really well filling behind the line stunts, right? Like, they did a good job reading downhill filling. And, like, so if you think Quay or Cooper did good, if the other linebacker is out of position, something's going to open up, right? Like, obviously, if only one linebacker's doing his job and the other one isn't, something's opening up. So if you go back and watch Quay, he did just as good. And he was physical as hell, downhill, made a lot of plays, physical at the point of attack, flying around. Like, I thought he played a really good game. Didn't look out of position. Did not look like sometimes last year, like, and even at times the year before that, looked like he was lost at times. I think that was what people would say. Like, he would kind of be floating in space. He would pick gaps wrong, right? Like, things like that. There was none of that. And, like, this Lions team will make you do that at times, right? Like, they will make you guess wrong, fill the wrong gap, do things like that. Nope, none of that. He was spot on. Like the linebacker play to me was very impressive. All the linebackers, McDuffie, Quay, Coop, they were great. Really good linebacker play, and it showed, right? I mean, when you stop that run game like that, it's the D line and the linebacker play that was really good. So, like, I mean, obviously, you know, Coop gets his flowers because of all the tackles, but Quay was really good too, man. Like, I gotta give him his credit. Like, guy was really good.
So, Brian, one last thing on defense. I mentioned this to Tausch, and I'm going to get during the commercial break from our time with Jeff Hafley, because I asked him this flat out. He's talked about getting 11 hats to the ball since he got here, right? But he told us yesterday that was the best he's ever seen it. And my hypothesis is that this is a group that, like you mentioned, is in the second year, so they know what they're doing a lot better than they did. But that's one of the ways that the Parsons effect is taking root, right? Because you can, I'm sure there are people in Dallas that have been critical of him for whatever reasons, but I don't think he has an effort problem from what we have seen so far, right? And so my question to Hafley was, well, what do you attribute that to? That they were that way, because you've been talking about it since you got here. And that was the thing that made me think that maybe there's something really special going on. And again, only one game in, but to Tausch's point, that this could be a defensive-led team, because when you hear your defensive coordinator talking that way, and when, to your point, what you said about Quay, even though his numbers weren't there and they were giving him a hard time for not catching that interception that he should have had. But you're right. He played like he is starting to look like the guy that they drafted in the first round for a reason. And he was doing that back in December before he hurt his ankle in Seattle, and now he's doing it again through one game. Cooper is flying around and eating up the grass at such a high rate of speed. Parsons is having his effect. LVN and Rashawn Gary are benefiting from number one being on the field. Someone sent me a stat yesterday that on the snaps that Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, and Micah Parsons were on the field, all three of them together, the Packers allowed a cumulative total of 6 yards in the game. So I just, when you see a defense doing what you saw it doing, and not just, you got to have 11 hats up at the ball, which every defensive coordinator I'm sure says, did that defense look different to you and more capable of doing what Tausch brought up, the idea of it leading this team?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, to your first point about 11 hats to the ball, I mean, it felt like every time, you know, a running back touched the ball, the first contact was there, and like 4 more guys were there, like instantly. Like it was instant. Like 4 more guys were at the ball carrier. And if you think to last year, we'll just go back to a Lions game, right? Like I'll just think of a Lions game. Like I think back to like when Gibbs would touch the ball last year, he'd break a tackle, and then it'd be like another 3-4 yards he would gain until another guy would come, right? Like, and that's my thought. And I think to this game, the first contact he'd get made, he would maybe break that tackle. By the time he lifted his head, 3 more guys were there just laying the hammer to him. So like it was a completely different like looking defense, and the speed. Like, that was the noticeable thing. Like, they were playing so much faster than the Lions. Like, and that's the crazy part about it is no one made the Lions look slow last year. No one made the Lions look, like, not physical last year. Green Bay did all those things. They made them look slow.
The defense dictated what the Lions were going to do. Last year, the Lions are dictating. They're running trick plays. They're doing all this stuff. And Green Bay suffocated and said, no, we're going to dictate what you can do. And then when you want to throw the ball underneath 10 times, we'll set an all-NFL record for giving you the least amount of yards after you catch 10 passes. And that is why I think everybody is so blanking excited about this defense.
All right, Brian, we will get into the offensive line shuffle based on the approximations yesterday. Neither Zach Tom nor Aaron Banks would have practiced. They play tomorrow. We'll get the injury report with designations today. The Curly Shuffle up front, we will talk about that with Brian Bulaga, our offensive line guru, next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut, and you know how much I've loved Pizza Hut going back to the days when I was a kid, participating in their legendary Book It program. Man, I loved getting those personal pizzas, and Pizza Hut's latest offer has me feeling a blast from the past. Introducing Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes, 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch and Nashville hot chicken. Each of these crafted flats pizzas, just $5. All day, every day, making them perfect options for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 crafted flats pizza at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. $5 crafted flats pizzas, only at Pizza Hut. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Head in confidently. Barry Alvarez preaching a message to Wisconsin football. Ignore the Crimson Tide's past and solely focus on what will be in front of them come Saturday. More from Coach during the latest episode of the Barry Alvarez Show.
You're not playing Joe Namath, and you're not playing all those great Alabama teams in the past. You're playing the cats that show up. That's who you're playing. It's a good team. You have to respect them. You're playing on the road. You know, it's a hostile environment. That's okay. But don't make this bigger than what it is. Don't make them better than who they are.
Full episode available on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see the teams recognized for making a positive impact in the community. It's the Game Changers of the Month, presented by Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Former basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal is DJ Diesel, and he's coming to the Sylvia on Friday, September 19th. Catch Shaq and his Base All-Stars live. Tickets on sale now at Sylvie.com. Don't miss your chance to see Shaq, DJ Diesel live in Madison on September 19th.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Wednesday's show, Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner joins me. Comedian Frank Caliendo stops by in studio, plus my Week 2 NFL Power Rankings. That's on Wednesday of The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is second to none. You might not know them here.
Continuing with Brian Bulaga. Tough one for Iowa against in-state rival Iowa State on Saturday, huh?
Yeah. Sure was.
Yeah. Could be a tough one for the Packers' offensive line, as well as both Zach Tom and Aaron Banks. So their right tackle and their left guard are in some potential unavailability for a short week. And I don't know if it would be different if they were playing on Sunday, Brian. Take us back in your memory banks. You dealt with your share of injuries, not just your ACLs, you and Tausch both in that club, unfortunately, but also other stuff. When you're an offensive lineman dealing with an injury, you are predisposed to, I'm going to play through it. I get it. You guys are the toughest guys in the locker room. How hard is it to try and do that on a Thursday? And what are you expecting from this line? Because we talked about it all off season and throughout training camp. Hey, great, love the top six. After that, not so sure. How are you kind of looking at this week as they get ready?
Yeah, I mean, turning around on a Thursday is tough, right? And obviously, we don't know the injuries. They don't sound good, right? Like, I mean, from everything that has been reported, they don't sound good. It's not like it's something that there's a good chance that they could be okay, right? I mean, there's a 50-50. It sounds more like a 70-30 that they won't be able to go, which is, more in the ballpark that it, a little more serious than, giving it a go, right? Which makes the turnaround time not a good thing for them. And obviously everyone wants to push it and be able to get out there on a short week, but like some things are just tough to do. Even like you said, Jason, even if it's Sunday, it may be difficult, right? Like that's the nature of this thing. And obviously if it's, Banks is dealing with an ankle and I think a groin, like I think it's two things. I mean, I don't know. Depending on what type of ankle injury, if it's a high ankle injury, like those
Blue, how do you think they're looking at it? Because a lot of times you'll think, all right, well, let's rest because then you're going to get 10, 12 days because you don't play again until that following Sunday. But is there also a look at it like, let's just gut through this because we get another 10 days to regroup and play? I think you look at it differently early in the season than you do later in the season. Isn't that kind of the balance of what you're doing? Because if you can't play, you can't play. We all know that. But if it is something that you can, even if you're at 70%, how do you balance those two things?
Yeah, I mean, I always looked at it as like if it's early on, I just try to. I guess my point of view is the same always. Like if I could gut through it, I would get the extra days on the back end, right? Like if I could push through it, I know I get the extra days because it's the short week, but I could take rest. I guess on the flip side, they may look at it now. It's too early. Let's just take the rest. They get X amount of days. There's no need to push this thing in week 2, right? That may be the way they're looking at this thing. If it were maybe week 10 or 11, maybe a different story, right? They may be going, hey, we may need to push this. It's later in the season and we do get extra time. Let's give this thing a run and see if they can do it. And then we know we'll get extra time after this game. So it's going to be interesting to see the mentality of it. But you're right. If they can't go, they can't go. I mean, that's just the simple, that's going to be the simple answer. I mean, with hip injuries and ankle injuries, I don't know what the severity of them, those are, right? Like you don't really know. I think it's very easy to say right now that, hey, well, look who stepped in. I mean, Kennard stepped in. He looked really good. And obviously Jordan Morgan, he's been playing in preseason and he's looked good and all that. And he stepped in the game and he looked fine. Well, we can say that. And they stepped in the game when the game was pretty much wrapped up. It was under control. I mean, I think the Lions at that point essentially, at least for me watching it, the Lions essentially had laid down at that point. I mean, that game was done. At least in my opinion, the Lions were done at that point. This is different, right? I mean, you're starting off. This is a fresh ball game, right? And Washington has high expectations. They were an NFC championship game team last year, right? Like they have high expectations for themselves. So it'll be interesting to see if those two guys go in from the start, how this plays out, right? And then obviously if those two guys start, the sixth man then goes to Belton, right? And that's where who's behind Belton. That's where the depth gets tested
who's
immediately.
Gonna play if there's who will play if there's some anything on the inside? And again, I just think Elton Jenkins has to stay healthy. I think that is going to be critical. Blue, you watched the film. Give us a little taste. Give us a little taste of what you saw.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think guys played well. I really do. I think for the first outing, well, I'll start like this. I mean, I'll start with the really positives, and I think the pass blocking was just phenomenal. I mean, the pass blocking was so good. It was clean. I mean, there were a couple pressures here and there, which, listen, I mean, the Lions are good, right? I mean, they're a good defense. They got good pass rushers, but overall, the pass blocking was super clean. I mean, guys looked strong. They gave a great pocket. I mean, Jordan Love multiple times had time to pump fake, bring the ball down, scan the field again, and deliver strikes, which is just, I mean, that doesn't really happen in the NFL too often against high quality opponents. So like that shows, how good this group can be up front. So I thought they played really well in the pass game. I think in the run game, there's a lot to improve on. I think they left a lot of yardage out there. I mean, I think you look in the second half, Jacobs, got a lot more yardage. I think he had around 50 in the second half. I think like 9 in the first half, which is just not good enough, obviously. But even in the second half, a lot of yardage left out there from plays. Like, I mean, there were a lot where like guys were just not climbing the linebackers, or they didn't climb to the right linebacker. It looked like a couple missed assignments, and linebackers were running free and things that just a little bit of sloppiness that needs to be corrected, in week one. And that's, you're going to see a little sloppiness in week one and things like that. And I'm not making excuses, but the O-lines, and I'm not saying defense, but just in their, looking at the scope of it, Detroit was putting 7 and at times late dropping 8 in there. They were saying, we are not letting Jacobs beat us. That's what they were saying early in that game, right? Like Green Bay threw them out of that look early. Like they had to throw them out of that structure early in the game, and they did, obviously, right? Like Green Bay, they threw the ball very efficiently in the first half, but Detroit, to start that game, it was 7 in the box all day long, right? And Green Bay was having a hard time early on getting things going, and it showed, right? I mean, the run stats were what they were. In the second half, the box got a little bit lighter. Green Bay started to run the ball a little bit better, but there were still things out there that they could have been way more, in my opinion. There could have been way more. I think Jacobs could have had like 70, 75 in the second half if the blocking would have been a little bit cleaner. So that'll be something that I'm hoping that gets improved upon in this short week. I don't know if they're able to, right? I mean, maybe just cleaning up some missed assignments and things like that. What was interesting to me too, which I didn't expect to see, LaFleur's scheme, a lot of power, a lot of pulling, a lot of things that I, I mean, we talk about, the zone scheme with LaFleur and this and that and how they full flow. Lots of power, lots of guard pulling, lots of tackle pulling. I mean, just things that it shows how multiple he is with the schemes and how they're able to do, based on opponent, what he's going to pull out of the bag, right? And when you have Steno as the OC and he's obviously, he was with Shanahan in San Francisco, and they do a lot of different things in San Francisco as well. And Shanahan does, but then LaFleur's bread and butter is what he did, obviously, as an OC in Tennessee with that scheme. A lot of different blends, but like starting off the season with a lot of power it caught me off guard. Obviously, I wasn't really expecting that. But listen, you put that on tape, and teams have to prepare for it. Right? I mean, and that's just what it is. Like you put those things on tape early, and the coordinators have to prepare for it, right? And they have to get ready for those types of runs and formations, and then you do different things off that. And then you build play action off of that, and it's just it's fun to see early on in the season. And I will also say there was a lot of good play action that was built early. Right, under center play action that I liked. I didn't expect to see under center play action. I saw under center play action. So, thank you, Matt LaFleur. Exactly. So, a lot of good stuff.
So, Brian, last thing for you, so we can get you out of here. We had some fun at Darian Kennard's expense, right? We talked about his. Being related to Dolly Parton. We talked about how before Sunday he had the same number of Super Bowl rings, 3, as NFL game appearances, 3. He had started one game last year in the finale when the Eagles didn't play any of their starters. And now, ding dong, opportunity is at the door. What did you see? He played 15 snaps, and then they gave Belton the last 3. He's going to be the guy at right tackle. You said earlier that you liked what you saw. The one play that stuck out to me was where he pulled from right tackle to a run off of left tackle. What did you see from him, and should Packers fans be hopeful, nervous, panicky? How should they feel about him starting at right tackle on Sunday or Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, everything I saw, I wouldn't be nervous or panicking. I mean, he looked comfortable. He looked the part. Obviously, he's a big guy, right? He's not he looks out of place. He looked calm when they passed the ball. He looked very calm in his set. He didn't look like he was jumping out of there and very nervous to pass block, which is when you put in backup tackles, that's normally one of the first things I look at to see, how does he look in his pass set? Is he very jumpy and nervous, and is he flying out of there and okay, he's oversetting and he's going to get beat inside really quick, and then that starts kind of the snowball effect of then he undersets and he gets beat around the edge, and now here we go. Now he's guessing what he has to do. No, he looked good. He looked calm, and obviously – you said he only appeared in 3 games, but he's been around a lot of good players, right? He's been around Lane Johnson. He was around a lot of good players in Kansas City. So he's, who used to say, Campy used to say, you got to learn through osmosis. That's what he would tell me about Tausch and Cliffy when I was a rookie. You got to learn through osmosis. Just sit there and listen and watch. I'm all right, got it. He got a lot of that when he was there. So it was so he looked fine. I think it'll be how quickly can he and Sean Ryan get on the same page, right? You're working together now with a new right guard. I'm not as worried about how Sheed and Morgan will be able to get on the same page. I think they've been working together, I would say more than not in camp. It's more of how quickly can the right side get together and get their communication down and all those things in a short week when they're not going to be practicing much, right? Today's probably going to be it. It's probably going to be a jog through. And there you go. You're playing tomorrow. So, like, yeah.
All right, Brian. Brian, we appreciate your time as always, buddy. I look forward to talking to you later in the week about this game and how it plays out. Thanks, pal. We appreciate you. Tausch, tell us about Hard Rock Casino before we end the 9 o'clock hour very late.
All right, the Hard Rock Casino Rockford, over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, more than 1,300 slots, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. They also have a great entertainment venue. You mentioned Dolly Parton. I hope that she gets there someday, but if she doesn't, there's still premium concert and event space. Bradshaw was there. I think Kevin Hart's coming. A lot of big stars, up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination, just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, about an hour from the greater Madison area.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch will start. Technology cooperating in 2 minutes. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Well, this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and zero interest financing for 12 months. My new buddy Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. There was some Green Bay Packers news that broke late yesterday as Packers wide receiver Christian Watson agreed to a 1-year, $13.25 million contract extension. Watson is currently recovering from a torn ACL he suffered last season. You can stay up to date on all of your Green Bay Packers news by heading over to ESPN.com. On to Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers are struggling down in Texas as they fell 5-4 last night to the Rangers. They've now lost back-to-back games to the Texas Rangers. But even with those losses, Milwaukee still has a 6.5-game lead on the Chicago Cubs for first place in the NL Central, and they have a 3.5-game lead on the Philadelphia Phillies for the number 1 seed in the NL. The Brew Crew are back in action today as coverage will start at 12:59. First pitch at 1:35 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
As always, to Brian Bulaga. Not sure who had more technical issues today, him or me, but always great to catch up with him. Tausch, in an effort to get back somewhat on the clock, what's your concern level with Darian Kennard and J-Mo, Jordan Morgan, likely, not for certain, but likely to be replacing Zach Tom at right tackle with Kennard and J-Mo replacing Aaron Banks at left guard, right tackle left guard, I should say. What's your concern level for tomorrow night?
Pretty high. I don't know Washington's defensive prowess. They obviously shut the Giants down, but the Giants stink. So I don't know how much stock I take in that, but I kind of said all throughout this training camp and preseason that, as long as Elton Jenkins can play center, I felt pretty good. You could, with the depth and with what Jordan Morgan has been able to do, you feel like, all right, if one guy goes down for a little bit, you can plug and play. I don't feel great about Kennard if he needs to be in there for an extended period of time, but he's a young player, and everybody needs to get an opportunity. And, Bryan just broke down the film and said that he looked pretty smooth, and at the end of a game, it's a lot easier to play than it is in the beginning. But two guys being out, and you're, what's the math on that, 40% of your line, that's a lot, and that's a big concern. So I am concerned. I think the fact that it's a short week and you have your two of your highest paid guys not playing, potentially, you're not going to be a better football team that night. So hopefully one of them can go, give it a go, and if one has to miss, you plug and play Jordan Morgan in that spot, and then get these guys ready to go. I'm not as concerned as I would be in the old days, because this team is going to be driven by its defense. And offensively, I think you don't need to be the scoring 30-plus points team that maybe we always felt like we had to be, or at least upper 20s. You're going to win games a lot differently this year than I think what we've seen in the past. And if a couple of injuries set you back a little bit on offense, I don't think that's something in the past that would be insurmountable. I don't feel that way after watching 1 week of football.
I want to get into the extension for Christian Watson is official, and you pointed this out while we were dealing with our issues early on. I'm a little surprised by some of the negative reaction to it. I want to get into that coming up, but we never have any negative reaction when it comes to Quick Trip. I was there again last night after I got done at my concession stand shift. It's always got something that you're ready to enjoy.
Well, in this fall, the Gatorade Border Battle is on at Quick Trip. Are you team purple or green and gold proud? Well, either way, you can score the ultimate fan experience. 2 Turf Suite tickets to the Week 18 Vikings-Packers showdown at U.S. Bank Stadium. Plus, you get a $250 Quick Trip gift card. Buy any Gatorade with your Quick Rewards account and earn bonus Fan Zone points. Packers, Vikings. Let the Quick Trip Gatorade Border Battle begin. No purchase is necessary. Head over to quicktrip.com/sweepstakes. When life is busy, make it easy with Order Ahead in the Quick Rewards app. You can pick your favorites, the fried chicken, the pizza, the take-home meals, whatever it might be. You can do that all the way through September 9th through September 22nd. The boneless pork loin chops are only 99 cents. That's a heck of a deal. Bananas, jumbo onions, and baked potatoes, 29 cents a pound. And that Quickery bread, 2 loaves for $4. Quick Trip's got you covered, and we'll see you next time.
James in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments. Congrats, Kitten Watson. Maybe next season will be the first time you'll play more than you miss from injury. We will address...
Not nice.
James, and we got a lot of kittens at our house. Kittens are tougher than you think. We will get into that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tausch here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Whether you're saving up to buy a jersey for your new favorite player, tickets to a playoff game, or simply need some extra spending money for you and your family, it's always great to learn new ways to save some extra cash. Well, I've been telling you for a while now about how you can save money and help save the planet by making the switch to Everlight Solar. When my family first thought about making the energy switch, we weren't exactly sure where to go. That's when we got in touch with the team at Everlight Solar, and through every step of the process, they were great as we made the switch to solar. Let them do the same for you. Check out everlightsolar.com to find out more and schedule a free consultation. That's everlightsolar.com. Save money and help save the planet. When you're ready to make the switch, take my word for it. Count on the team at Everlight Solar.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Baseball is back. Brian Bulaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
At Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction, you won't have to worry about your old lawnmower pulling a hamstring. They make buying and selling easy. Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction is simple, reliable, and unlike your fantasy team this football season, they'll actually deliver. Have equipment taking up space? Let them be your surplus solution. You send it in, they list it, people bid, and you actually win. Bid, buy, sell, and score big today at WisconsinSurplus.com. Because winning isn't just for game day. WisconsinSurplus.com.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Feel the thrill, chase the excitement, and win big. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon Link slot game. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Before we get back to Christian Watson, I want to remind you, if you've been injured in an accident, not if you tore your ACL when one of your fellow wide receivers was ill and wasn't able to play and you weren't supposed to play in the game, there's only one call to make. Group offices. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. David, avid listener to the show. Didn't get him on the Bold-a-thon, which was a little disappointing, but he's got a lot going on.
Tough one.
He's got a lot of cases to win, and you don't pay until they win. Again, go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more, and then that number again, for that one call, that's all you got to make, that's all, 414-276-6666. All right, so I gave James in the YouTube comments a little bit of a hard time, but let's make sure we have our facts right. Christian Watson played in 15 games last season. They went down to the Badger Sports Performance at UW-Madison, and they figured out the hamstring riddle. He had a career high for receiving yardage, and then he does suffer the ACL, which, as you well know, Tausch, unfortunately, you did not fail to do your requisite work to prevent an ACL. That stuff just happens. That is not a soft tissue injury where you weren't stretching or you weren't hydrating or whatever else. So, but you said this earlier because it perked my ears. There were negative responses to this that you saw. Does that surprise you? Because maybe I'm blinded because I like Christian Watson and I like the kind of dude he is, that he's not, as eloquently pointed out by Matt in the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube comments, he's not a turd. But you said you saw negative responses to this. I don't get it.
No, you brought that up, and I was surprised. I have not looked. I don't have YouTube. I can't pull up those.
No, not the YouTube comments. You said when we were talking about at the start of the show that you saw some negative response to the Christian Watson signing. I don't see why people would be negative about him.
Yeah, I don't either. We must have. I think there were some technical glitches. Maybe I said that we could check the tape, but I don't understand why anyone would feel that way. Outside of the fact that at some point you are who you are, and Christian Watson has had injury issues. There's no doubt about that. Is it as much as people say? I'm glad you just pointed out 15 out of 17, because had you not, I would have just taken old boy's word for it and said, well, he hadn't even played there's not been one season he hadn't played more games than he didn't. His potential is awesome. His production when he's been on the field and healthy has been pretty good. I just go back to his rookie season with Aaron Rodgers, and he did things that Randy Moss did.
Right.
That's pretty good company when you're a wide receiver. So I know there's frustration amongst fans that he has been unable to, but has been able to stay healthy. But I thought last season, the way he stood up and led that room through a lot of turmoil, a lot of young players, a lot of guys want to eat, a lot of egos need to be fed, and Christian Watson stepped back. I felt like he was the only guy that really didn't need that. And he's probably the guy that was most interested in needing it from a financial standpoint and from something else, him and Romeo. So I love the way he carried himself last season, and all of that's great. Like, it's always great when you're great in the community and you're great. But the dude's a difference maker when he's out there. People have to play coverages differently. How he recovers from this ACL, everybody is raved about it. Goody, LaFleur, doesn't matter who you talk to. And when he's healthy, he is a long, fast, dynamic player. And you don't find a lot of those guys out there. So if this is what it is, and it's a one-year deal, and it gives him a little bit of security that, if things go south again, he's okay. If he doesn't need to feel rushed to get back out there, he can be a part of something that could be very special this season. And then you have him next year in the receiver world, a third. He's basically a third wideout as far as the payment goes. I don't understand why anybody would be irritated about it. And we don't even know if that money's guaranteed. We don't know any of the details yet, how much of the 13 is guaranteed next year. So I just don't think there's a downside on either side of this. And I would bet that by the end of this season, if he can come back, he will be a difference maker, and he will get a lot of playing time to finish this season out, would be my guess.
We got to get to Homer, but we can't do that until Tausch tells us about American Family Insurance.
And American Family Insurance, a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch from the jump. And since 1927, they've been committed to making life better with outstanding home and auto protection, all so that you're free to enjoy your dreams. So insure carefully and dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance.
Steve the Homer True, who has declared after one game, I don't know if you were on Green Bay game night when this was said or not, the division's over. One game in. We'll ask him about that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tausch here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison. UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Jake Buckles, Sauk Prairie High School. Jake, welcome.
Thanks for having me on here.
Man, we go way back. 4-year starter, you're going to be on offense. 3rd year on defense, especially in football. I know basketball and track as well, but particularly football. What does it mean to you to be an Eagle?
It means a lot to me. Wearing that jersey every night, it means a lot to me. Walking out with my teammates every night, seeing the fans.
When you look back in your time, you still got your senior year, but what are you going to remember most about Sauk Prairie High School?
I think the most thing I'm going to remember is just all my football memories. Sauk's a good school and stuff like that, but I feel like I've learned the most lessons from sports. Pushing, when stuff's hard, you just, you keep trying to improve and keep trying to get better.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
We're on the Badgers.
It reminds me of our 2016 year.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
I think being the underdog is a great thing for Wisconsin football. I think this could be that year.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Division's over. I will be shocked if the Packers don't win the division.
Is that an overreaction? No. That's the result of watching this game. And the players the Packers have. And how did anything weird happen in this game? They didn't really have any offense in the second half, and they still won 27-6.
You know what that voice is, and you know what that music means. One game in, the declaration has been set forth. Division's over, says Steve the Homer True.
So,
Homer,
Jason,
Homer,
Jason,
good morning.
before Homer says, do you
Morning.
believe that? Do you believe what Homer said is going to be what happens?
As is usually the case with Steven and I, he chooses different verbiage than I would. I would not say the division's over. Do I think the Packers? Do I think the Packers are going to win the division? I do.
So, yes, you do. So, aren't you guys both saying the same things, but the veteran of this industry is a little bolder? Homer actually admitted on air on our Green Bay game night he's not doing the 0 and 100% anymore, which I was so excited about. Yeah. Home slice? Aren't you and Jason? You and Jason are saying the same things. You're just doing it bolder. No?
I think that's a legitimate position. If you believe they're going to win the division, you're with me. The reason I say these things is it's important to understand how good they are. So if, in fact, they don't win it, you have a reason to be shocked, disappointed, upset, because they are that solid a favorite. And to not fully understand how good they are or can be for the course of the season is just, I don't know why people won't do it, like they're scared. Surely, as we learned,
they don't want to jinx.
Lots of things can happen.
There's only one thing I hate.
There's a lot of stuff that
I hate this jinx stuff. That I don't know who started that.
I know you do.
That is just so stupid. It's just stupid.
It's been around for a while. Not talking to pitchers, throwing no-hitters.
Whatever.
You asked a question. I just gave you an answer. That's all. I didn't disagree or agree
So
with you on that.
Homer, my question for you, and again,
yes,
as we
By
have
the way, can I say one more thing?
Of course
they
you
can.
can.
Lose the next 2 games, and I don't care. I will have the same opinion if they lose the next 2 games.
I don't want them. No, I would disagree.
I don't want
Can't
them
lose
to.
both. You lose one.
Sure you can. Go back in 96, as great as that team was, historically good, and go back and look at the point in their season where you had reason to wonder. As great as they were, wondering does not take away the greatness of a team. And that's what would happen if they lost 2 in a row. People would be wondering, and I'd be like, calm down. So,
Homer, I think the comps to 96, I think defensively, I mean, is it early? Absolutely. Do I feel as strongly as I said on Sunday? Yeah. I think this group has the chance to be as good as that group. That sounds crazy, but I believe that. But the part
That's
we're getting out
Nicely
and kind
done.
of forget. What?
That's a homer. I don't think they can average to giving up the number of points that team did. But again, it depends also on the league. You can't compare the numbers. You have to compare to the.
No, it's a feel.
It's
a position and a vibe. Yep.
Yeah, good. A position and a vibe. I like that. Nice.
Yeah.
I love it when
they're
you
not
two
going to
get
probably
along.
give up the same amount of points, but you know when you have a special defense. And I think the Packers defense was in 96 was looked at in a very high light.
Right.
But
you
there
got an
was
NFL
still
Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
right?
that's what
you
I
got
was
an
trying.
NFL Hall of Famer, Parsons.
Yep.
All right, he's already in the Packer Hall of Fame, Cooper. So I mean, then
Don't
you got.
start.
you
We're
got
going so well. No one's walking down Oneida Street here. We're just going to keep rolling.
I want to change that. It's as difficult as him hitting the cereal bowl with his milk when he has cereal in the morning.
All right. So here's the one issue that I have with you. Well, on this specific topic.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you believe that the Detroit Lions are who we saw on Sunday, Or are you willing to allow for the fact that they have a lot of really good players on their football team, and they have 2 new coordinators, and neither one of those coordinators had a particularly good day, but that they could be appreciably better by the time they face each other again on Thanksgiving? Because my issue with the division's over is that Tausch talks about nut whack. These guys aren't NFL champions, Super Bowl champions. They are 2-time defending division champions, which I know we don't hang division banners. But I do think we need to be a little bit careful about underestimating the Lions, given the talent they have and the fact that it's going to take a little while for these guys that are the new coordinators to get their sea legs. Their offense was clearly, remember, their offense last year with Ben Johnson running it was number 1 in the league in scoring, averaging 33.2 points per game, and number 2 in total offense, averaging 409.2 yards per game. They looked nothing like that group yesterday or Sunday. And so I do think it's important to at least allow for the possibility that by the time we get to Thanksgiving, no Frosh play until Thanksgiving Day, no question that the Lions will be different by Thanksgiving. Would you allow for that, or do you stand by your proclamation?
Well, I didn't say anything about how the Lions are. I didn't say by how many games
Division's over.
Win the division. Okay, they're going to win the division. I checked. You don't have to win by 5 games. I didn't say they're going to. But okay, first of all, yes, they will be better. But let me ask you.
Well, you got to win. Hey, Homer, you have to win by 1 if you don't have the tiebreaker like the Brewers and the Cubs.
That's correct. Yes, the Brewers are up by whatever they are, but they have to win by 1 game. That I do not. But we don't know if that's the case in the division. But if it does become the case, I will make sure to be the first to present it. I do have one question about the Lions. Will Ben Johnson be back before the year's over?
To Detroit?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Will he be back?
Come on.
So that is the biggest thing regarding their offense. And it, as much as everything else, will prevent them from being anywhere near as good. The other thing about the Packer game is there's no way that the Lions or their head coach thought the Packers were capable of playing that tough.
I'll agree with that. They could not run the football at all. And in the past, they ran the football at an incredibly high level against this defense. But this isn't that defense. So I think the Ben Johnson component, Homer, I think it's more you lost your center. You got a lot of new guys playing inside at guards. Like, it is much more about getting those guys up to speed than it is about Ben Johnson to me at this point. Now, could it be that it's going to be, Ben Johnson was everything? That will tell itself probably by Halloween. We'll have a good idea. But you're right. Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions did not think that they thought they had been the bullies. I still haven't seen my Scott Farkas up, which is, I think, that's a whole nother conversation. We have been bullied by the Detroit Lions, and I don't think anyone over there thought that the Green Bay Packers would ever bully ball back the Detroit Lions. And it happened, and it happened bigly, and that, I think, is what rattled the cages of Detroit more than anything else.
Well, I think that Campbell thought that if they lost, he would be able to say, but they did this, but they did that. Now, look, they're a good team, so they did it. He has no but. They beat the Lions playing Lions football.
I like that line. You're not lying.
Thank you. Yeah. So, man, this is fun. Man, they're good.
It's great when you two are
let's roll
kumbaya.
The ball out. Let's roll the ball out and play. We lose. You know what? Let's roll it out again next week and do it again.
Yeah.
Homer, how much of this about your feeling about the division's over is based on the Micah Parsons effect, do you think?
Yes. It's everything.
Everything.
really
Of course,
good.
you would say everything. I think it's
Well,
probably
no, because it
less
elevates
than
the
everything.
level of the team. I mean, come on.
I
It's
can't
not
get my head
complicated.
wrapped
I'm not
around.
even bringing up all the because I don't know how nice he is. I don't know how happy he is. All the kind of stuff. I mean, there are ups and downs about it. But he's a really good player. He makes the team much better.
I still
Well, no
can't
blank,
get my
blank.
head wrapped around
I know
why
but
Dallas
it
would do
doesn't
that.
have to be
I don't
analyzed
get it.
any more than that. He can
Yeah,
be the
I guess-
biggest jerk in the world, and he still is a really good player.
No, I think let me rephrase the question because clearly I didn't do a good enough job. Because yes, he is a fabulous player. I did want to bring this up to Tausch because I'm curious if he sees it through the same lens. Someone made the comment when we were doing our little WBAY TV show up here that they've never seen anyone get to the quarterback faster during their time covering the Packers, even faster than Clay Matthews. Again, I felt we were a little palmy.
Everybody else.
Right,
it's
but-
Reggie
Yeah, a
White.
little
It's not even
palmy.
close. Reggie, you could have a player right between Reggie White and the quarterback, and you just threw him out of the way. Nobody got to the quarterback better than
but that's
Reggie
not
White.
what
Come
that's
on.
not what they asked. Who is more explosive?
Yeah.
And athletic? Oh, I mean, Mike.
Reggie White.
Mike is
No. This is not about who wins a 100-yard dash. Nobody.
Well, that's what he
More
just said.
athletic
Who's fastest
than
to the
Reggie
quarterback is what he
Well,
just
fast. Okay, fine.
Okay,
Fast
so
to the
we're
quarterback.
all right.
But
all right,
not
all right.
if, hold on, only in certain situations. Not if the guy's right in front of him. Reggie White's faster than him if the guy's right in
Because
front
he does the hump move and the guy goes flying.
Yeah,
All right,
You do the Humpty Hump. Oh, baby, do the Humpty Hump. Yep.
Thank you, Digital Underground Tausch. My question was going to be, you're right. He is a fabulous player. He is a freak is the word that LaFleur keeps using, and he's right. I'm talking about the other effects beyond his actual play. Because, and I brought this up to Tausch earlier, this running to the ball stuff, which we've heard ever since Jeff Hafley got here. We've heard it from other defensive coordinators. All defensive coordinators want 11 hats running to the football. But Jeff Hafley was convinced that it was – now, maybe he's being a little palmy, prisoner of the moment-y, but he was convinced it was better than he'd ever seen it on tape. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm talking about a belief now in this team. Like, I think the defense thought they were pretty damn good before they traded for Micah Parsons. Now, I think they think they're invincible. That's what I think. I think the offense felt like, hey, we're good. We're going to win a bunch of games, and we got a lot of weapons. Now they think, hey, not only are we good, but if we have a drive where we don't go anywhere or our quarterback turns it over, our defense is going to get the ball right back to us. I just think there is being around the players since the trade happened, and especially yesterday, like that locker room, man, they're feeling it.
Buzzing.
They are feeling themselves right now, and that's more what I'm talking about the Parsons effect, Homer.
Yeah, and this is the same way as us as a coach. When people bring that up as being a big mental thing, that to me is all crap and always has been.
Thank
the
you.
reason those people feel more confident is because people are going to play them differently. I can go to the ball when there's nobody between me and the ball, easier than when there's somebody who just kicked my butt and knocked me back. There is a benefit, but the biggest benefit is on the field, the benefit of the talent and how that changes how people play you with no input on the mental part of it whatsoever. That exists, but it is and has been always vastly overrated. Their job is easier because their teams are going to play them differently with him on the field. That's the biggest edge. 80%. I'll give you 20% of we think we're better and all that kind of stuff.
Okay. All right. Tausch, you got anything else?
People will run with it. They'll love with it. They love to hear
I feel
that
like
stuff.
I got poo-pooed there. I'm not going to pout.
Totally.
How so?
But I feel like He just basically said that the vibe that I got from this team was nonsense, and it doesn't matter.
No, so Homer's always, Homer's always nuts and
playing
bolts.
And ability, not on in their head. Like, they can run to the ball better and will because there aren't people in the way. They're a better defense. Harder to stop, harder to prevent. Teams have to figure out what to do. Some of the young players can get better, but more than anything, how does a defense, did they have to deal with Aaron Rodgers? Did Aaron Rodgers make everybody better? Yes. Because mentally they felt better? No. Because teams had to play them different. It made their job a little easier because he was that good and that dominant.
Okay.
Well, you can disagree. Tausch, you played.
The
was
reason everybody's so
Favre,
jacked
or was
up.
or was it his ability that made your job easier because of what he could do and the difficulty he prevented on defense? Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine.
It's the ability of what they can do and understanding that he can erase things. He is a dynamic playmaker. That's why you chase and get players of that ilk, because everybody else sees it and feels it and knows their job is going to be easier, and they're going to help you win a lot of games. That's why having that franchise quarterback is always so critical. And when you have a game-tilting, game-changing player on defense, the same thing applies. That's why everybody's so excited. It's not because he's a great dude or anything else. It's because everybody in that locker room knows, wow, we just went from here to here. I guess you can't hear that. It goes from here, from
Jason,
6
how
to
do you
10.
feel about that?
Look, there's no question that Micah Parsons would not be having this effect if he wasn't a really, really good player. I feel like maybe we're splitting hairs that I wasn't intending us to split here. Obviously, the biggest part of it is that the guy is a field-tilting player. But I'm just telling you, they have had field-tilting players before. They didn't come in the way that Micah Parsons did either. Like, some of them were homegrown, right? I mean, look, there were guys that felt really good about having Clay Matthews on the field because he did draw more attention. He gave guys like Cullen Jenkins opportunities. I'm not questioning that. But this has given the players, from my perspective of being around them, a shot in the arm of confidence and swagger that wasn't there even though they felt like they were already a good team before they got him.
Yes.
And is that because he's a great player? Of course it is.
Yes.
But that attitude and that confidence, I would argue, does matter. It does. And because now when things go crappy in a game, you're going to sit there and go, well, we can do this. Right? We could turn this around. Whereas maybe if you don't have that belief in some of the guys you have that you're running out there, okay, maybe this isn't going to go our way. There's just it just feels different in there. And I don't think that's a figment of my imagination.
I don't think it's because there's a part here of everybody is shocked that this occurred. And I'm sure that creates a level of anything's possible. Because everybody in that locker room would say, if they were honest, there's no way they believed this would happen. There's no way they believed that he was going to be on the team. So I can see how that does. Like, dude, anything's possible. Or that, I think, does create I'll defer to Tausch, where, we got Reggie White. No one thought he was coming to Green Bay. So that, yeah, I mean, I still don't believe it even today. Now I heard a story that said the Eagles were interested or something, and they were offered more or something. I don't know how long it took for other teams to be mentioned. But anyway, yeah, I mean, everybody. I think they said the Packers, the crowd was louder. I don't know who said that. And I go, yeah, because there's a euphoria, like, this is unbelievable. And how does that not create the belief that maybe something unbelievable could happen this season? Something has already occurred that would be more surprising than winning the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl had a better chance of occurring, quote me on this, than Parsons coming to the Green Bay Packers. Check the odds.
Yeah. Euphoria is the perfect word there. All right, Homer, before we let you go, Cubs within 6.5 games of the Brewers. What do we have left? 20 games? Less than 20 games? Do you have any absolute statements you'd like to make about the Milwaukee Brewers?
No, but I'm very comfortable that they'll get the top seed, maybe second. I don't know. I actually haven't watched it that closely. I'm comfortable and very comfortable with their manager to be able to address the ups and downs that could occur. And of course, I am the one who realizes they got to win by one. They can't be tied. Yes, so they're one game less up than these people think. But I don't want to focus on that. But I'm not ready to make that clarification. To me, it's over. But I probably should. So I feel like I might be getting soft.
Think about it.
Old age.
Hey, take a beat, think about it, and then go ahead and do it.
I mean, I would say
have some dinner with Nancy.
Over.
Grab a meal.
Say it's over. They're going to be first or second seed in the National League. I mean, the division is over.
Okay.
That's done. So now we're just discussing.
3.5 game lead on
we have the
Phillies for the
tiebreaker
best
versus
record.
Philly.
Yep.
We got
Plus
the tiebreaker versus
Yes, sir.
Philly.
Right. Nicely
Homer?
done. Good. Bye.
I'll talk to you later. Oh, okay, bye. I'll talk to you later today. Tausch, we deal in absolutes a lot around here. You absolutely love Prize Picks almost as much as Marshawn Lynch does, I think.
Every day we make decisions. You know what? It's fun to be right because when you are right, you can get paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right and it is simple to play. Pick more or less 2 to 6 player stat projections. Just saw Travis Kelce. I think Jesse had mentioned 0.5 receiving yards. Always got some fun little things on Prize Picks to get you started. They offer Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks also offers injury reboot. So if one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. It is the best way to cash in on the football season. Make your sports opinions. Hey, you have a strong conviction about something. You think that something's going to happen. You feel good about it. Put it down, and you can make some cash. Download the app today. Use code WI. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 crafted flats pizzas. Mark Tauscher here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Steinhoffels. Test dress any mattress at Steinhoffels this September. Get a $20 restaurant gift card, and they'll donate $20 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Head in confidently. Barry Alvarez preaching a message to Wisconsin football. Ignore the Crimson Tide's past and solely focus on what'll be in front of them come Saturday. More from Coach during the latest episode of the Barry Alvarez Show.
You're not playing all those great Alabama teams in the past. You're playing the cats that show up. That's who you're playing. It's a good team. You have to respect them. You're playing on the road. It's a hostile environment. That's okay. But don't make this bigger than what it is. Don't make them better than who they are.
Full episode available on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Thinking about going electric? Now is the perfect time at Zimbrick Chevrolet. When you purchase a qualifying new EV vehicle, you could get up to $7,500 for eligible buyers from a federal clean vehicle tax credit. Don't wait, act now, because this tax credit is only available until September 30th. And once you buy your EV, Zimbrick Chevy will take care of you with their certified EV service and top off your charge. Never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Grassland butter is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin. Grassland is family owned and has been crafting butter for 5 generations. That's why at Grassland Butter, you're more than just an employee, you're family. The Wietrich family believes in supporting each other, growing together, and building a workplace where everyone feels valued. Your voice matters at Grassland Dairy. Your success is our success. Join a team where culture isn't just a buzzword, it's how we live every day. Check us out online at grassland.com. That's grassland.com. The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common, GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Mark Tausch here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
We're on the Badgers.
Team's in a good spot. Culture's in a really good spot.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
And now it's just about, hey, can you get back to that bowl game and hopefully get 1 or 2 of those marquee ones?
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hump. The Humpty Dance. Here's your chance to do the hump. Everybody. I do the Humpty Hump. Come on and do the Humpty Hump. Sexy lady.
The Humpty Hump.
Oh, baby, do the hump, the hump.
We've heard Tausch as Eminem. I can't wait to hear him as Digital Underground someday when we bring back musical headlines. Tausch, again, Homer is Homer. We get that. Are you confident that the Green Bay Packers, after one game, uno, are winning the NFC North?
Yeah. Now, I'm not. So here's the deal, and this won't surprise you. There are always things that come into play. I would not throw a 100% on it like Homer, and I don't even think Homer did. But the odds tell you that that's the case, and it swung violently since Micah and then since you beat the Detroit Lions. I believe Detroit will figure things out and be better. I also believe Green Bay, with the addition of Micah Parsons, is just going to be a lot different on defense.
Yeah.
And with Edgerrin Cooper. And what we saw, this wasn't some, you said fluke, this wasn't some anomaly. This is going to be the style of play that they play.
I agree.
And will people adjust and figure ways out? You can adjust to a lot of things. You know what you can adjust to?
Speed.
Smacking in the mouth and speed. You can't adjust. You could try all these different things, but I think the only way somebody is going to be able to move the football effectively is if they have a really good offensive line that can pound you, and then that will set up some play action. If you're going to live 3rd and 6+ against this defense, you're going to struggle.
You're cooked.
And that is a great place to be as a defense.
All right, we got a lot of things in the 11 o'clock hour, including Woe Hunter. If there's not anything related to Gerald Ford or the Dallas Cowboys, I'm going to be very disappointed. And we have double trivia.
There will be one of those. I can promise you that.
Oh, okay.
Double trivia as well, as Hunter Vaughn is our cousin sub of the day for Jesse. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Do we have one of those signs, like they have at factories and stuff, 742 days without an incident, without a OSHA violation or whatever it might be? Do we have one for X number of days? All 3 of the principal members of the program have been on it. Do we have one of those signs? There's no real point to having one, right?
Yeah, I think we don't currently, but I think that's something we could work on as a team to get made, because it's getting a little excessive for you guys here.
Jesse's a little under the weather, so we look forward to he's got to rest his voice for all the other shows he does. So that's important. I was hoping we would get an I feel fantastic from him
I just
today,
wonder, was there a volleyball game last night?
There was. And
did he work it?
He did. He sounded fine.
Okay.
He may or may not have, quote, gone down to a restaurant and bar for one with one of our other teammates, Corey Sparks. I left and did not go down for one. So who knows if there were multiple had, but he may have done this to himself.
Oh, boy.
Very interesting.
That is
a lot
interesting.
of Jesse's. Listen, I think we all know that there's days off and people are busy. It's always interesting when it's a late drop. And there's a volleyball game.
You're not saying, you're just saying.
I ain't doing anything.
I'm just sharing facts with everyone. They can make their own conclusions.
Hunter Vaughn. All right, well, we're happy to have Hunter as our cousin sub of the day. We'll get to the 11 o'clock hour forthwith. But after I tell you to tune into the Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Go behind the scenes of Giannis's Emmy-nominated documentary, hear about the true origins of Bucks in 6, and more. For Behind the Bucks, you can find it on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch starts in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus in Mount Horeb, your homegrown auction powerhouse from government assets to vehicles and equipment. Find your next deal at wisconsinsurplus.com. We had some Packers news break late yesterday as the Packers and wide receiver Christian Watson agreed to a 1-year, $13.25 million contract extension. Christian Watson is currently recovering from a torn ACL he suffered late last season. You can stay up to date on all things Packers related over at ESPN.com. On to Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers are struggling down in Texas as they've dropped back-to-back games after losing last night to the Rangers 5-4. Even with those back-to-back losses, though, Milwaukee still has a 6.5-game lead on the Chicago Cubs for the NL Central and a 3.5-game lead on the Philadelphia Phillies for the number 1 seed in the National League. The Brewers are back in action today. Coverage will start at 12:59. First pitch at 1:35 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Wilde and Tausch begins now. Getting ready for Double Trivia and Whoa Hunter, which are up next. But before that, Tausch, Mike McCarthy, who you played the majority of your career for, or did you get one more year with Mike Sherman than you had with Mike McCarthy, I guess? I don't know that.
07, 08, 09.
6-7.
5 years.
He did not believe in full season captains. And I don't think those were something Mike Sherman had either. In fact, I'm not sure we had them at all until Matt LaFleur brought them along with him when he took over in 2019. And then, well, we had the year where Zadarius Smith was unhappy, and he went out and had his diamond-encrusted C pendant made by his custom jeweler. Then there was the year where Jair wasn't happy that he wasn't elected. So that created some hard feelings. So what did Matt LaFleur do? Like any smart coach, he said, the juice ain't worth the squeeze on this. And he decided, okay, forget it. We just will do week-by-week captains like have been done here for many, many years, and then we'll have captains in the playoffs the way Mike McCarthy did it. Do you believe in captaincies? Because the Packers have, as Matt LaFleur said, you got to cut it off somewhere. The Packers have 7 captains. 7. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Xavier McKinney, and Isaiah McDuffie. What do you think of this?
I don't love it. I think it adds more issues than what it's worth. I think, like what you just said, LaFleur said, I love the fact that every week we had different captains, and some guys would be captains 2 or 3 times a year. If you win, you get this picture, and A-Rod would photobomb it. Like, it was kind of a fun deal. And then I loved the fact that there were playoff captains. And you get dressed up in your suit and tie, and I think that's more meaningful. It would be quite an honor. Obviously, the 7 guys you just mentioned, I'm sure are honored that their teammates trust them. That's something, to be a captain is a big deal. But for the regular season, I think you want as many people leading as you can. And I love the fact you know who your leaders are.
Right.
It's going to be a quarterback. And then you'll see there'll be somebody that is vocal. And you want your best players being captains. So it caused a lot of controversy, or it caused a lot of angst, obviously, with the Jair and Zadarius. Hopefully this team that doesn't – I don't know who would be bothered. The team is so young that I don't know if there is anybody that would be. But you want all of your guys to lead, and the guys know who they are. And I love the idea of every week you have someone else, and then that person would step up and talk to the team. I thought that was the best. I thought Mike had it, Mike McCarthy, really hit the nail on the head with that one. I thought that was a great way to do it, and I would not have changed it. But, every locker room needs different things, and that's obviously what Matt feels like his group needs.
Yeah, I would say that I 1,000% agree with you, so I'm glad to hear that. The only thing I would, I guess, say is that with where they're at, these were pretty cut and dried. To your point that you just made, I don't know if there's a lot of guys. Elton, I would think, could feel that way, right? He's the leader of that offensive line room, so he'd be the first one that I would think of. But I don't think there's a lot of guys that can take issue with it. But, again, I love I thought, and I'm so glad you brought up the Rodgers photobombing thing, because, God, that was a fun thing, wasn't it? Like, we forget, he's been gone a while now, but and he got other people involved. Andy Gruber is in a few of them. Like, that was a really fun thing. And I do agree with you that having it be someone different every week and having them, maybe they have a connection to that opponent that week, right? Maybe they played for them, or maybe they're going home, whatever it might be.
Going back to Charlotte.
For some people, yes. So then you have to appoint yourself captain. But I agree with you. I always thought, look, we both are really big Mike McCarthy guys. We're big on Big Mike. I always thought that was the right way, because then everybody gets a little taste of it. And the fact that he would, the other part of it was that he would choose different guys to speak to the team, right? And you would have your opportunity to do that. I think Mike was really good at that stuff. And I'm not saying Matt LaFleur isn't, but I think Mike McCarthy was really, really good at it. And so I would, if I was them, I would prefer that as well. And 7's a lot, that's for sure. But they all get the captain's C on their chest. I did say this to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs, I would argue, is their best leader. Would you disagree with me on that?
I'm not in the locker room, so I can't tell you 100%, but just the way he carries himself, he's, arguably the most productive player on the offense, which is, it matters. Like, production, and that matters, experience. And he stepped in last year, and I thought really did a great job. So I'm not going to say he's the greatest leader, but I'll say, listening to you and other folks, he seems as if that's the case, and he's done a very good job in that role in his time in Green Bay.
All right, we need to play trivia. Now, Hunter, I got a little irritated with the guy your cousin's subbing for today. He got very snarky with me when I asked a question about double trivia previously. One of these is yours.
What did he say again? What was so snarky again?
I don't know, but I know it was snarky. There's something about how we get calls for two contestants, and then they each play, or something to that effect. One of these are yours, and one of these are Jesse's. Is that correct?
They are. I was also going to ask, is it fair for Jesse to push double trivia on me when I'm filling in? Like, shouldn't this be a him problem when he's back?
First of all,
I don't know when he's going to be back.
That's part of it.
True. Okay.
I'm looking through your questions, and I think they're good.
Okay.
I think we're fine.
Okay.
They're not about Gerald Ford, but, you can't have everything.
He asked for
Wednesday.
geography, so.
Yes, and it is Wednesday, so it is Wisconsin geography trivia. I could really stick it to you with the callers, but I'm not going to do that either. The Packers are missing 40% of their offensive line, potentially. I'm not going to have caller 40.
Ooh.
I am going to divide it up, though. Caller 17. No, that's too many. I don't want to even do that to you. Caller 15 and caller 25.
Okay.
15 and 25. You can handle that.
Yeah.
I was going to go lower on the first number and then higher on the second, and that would not be nice to you. Caller 15 and 25 for Wilde and Tausch Trivia, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 15 and caller 25 for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. While Hunter starts answering the phones, I will tell you about Lakeland Supply. They joined us as a partner this season, and it's been awesome. They are great. Vince and his team over there are awesome. And if you believe in core values like they do, hey, any successful business has core values, and Lakeland Supply is no different. They've been displaying their core values in the industrial supply space for over 40 years. Integrity, excellence, stewardship, partnership, and faith. They're ISO certified, a Future 50 winner, top rated in customer satisfaction, and they believe in giving back to their community. And Lakeland Supply isn't one of those catalog companies. They work to be your packaging and supply expert by building plans around what you want. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. So set up that free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. Trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Grassland Dairy. Well, before 11 a.m. kickoffs on Saturdays, noon kickoffs on Sundays, or kicking off your workday every morning, Monday through Friday, complete your breakfast spread with the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter. Grassland has been serving up delicious taste and high-quality butter from farm to table since 1904. That's over 5 generations. So what's the key to having so much success for so long? Well, it's all about the hardworking dairy farmers right here in Wisconsin that help produce the highest quality ingredients that give Grassland its pure and delicious flavor. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Make your breakfast complete with Grassland Dairy. Crafting butter for 5 generations. Learn more and find delicious new recipes at grasslandbutter.com.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Ready to watch the Packers like a VIP? Cousins Subs put you in the center of it all. On the 50-yard line in plush recliner seats, complete with personal TVs and your favorites delivered from Cousins Subs. 2 pairs of fans are selected before each regular season home game to enjoy this one-of-a-kind experience. Enter daily to win the best seats in the house. Only from Cousins Subs. Cousins Subs. We believe in better. See rules and eligibility for details.
Get out this summer and experience Road America, America's national park of speed. Located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake, Road America is home to the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn circuit that's hosted the world's best since 1955. Camp on site all weekend, enjoy state fair-style food, and bring the family. Kids 16 and under get in free with a paying adult. Don't miss Arian's Art on Wheels, September 12th through the 14th. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Get your tickets now at roadamerica.com.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with 0 upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store, Madison, since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Wednesday's show, Hall of Famer quarterback Kurt Warner joins me. Comedian Frank Caliendo stops by in studio, plus my Week 2 NFL Power Rankings. That's on Wednesday of The Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
While I will admit that I cannot wait for Whoa Hunter, first, it's time for Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is presented by Cousin Subs. Crispy chicken tenders are now available at Cousin Subs. Order today in store at cousinsubs.com or with the Cousins app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Had to find the button.
You're all good. We knew you'd get there. So last week we had Jeff in Monona, and I kept misreading him as Jeff in Monroe. Well, today it appears that I have manifested that, unless it's a typo. We welcome in Jeff in Monroe first. Jeff, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. And yeah, it's from Monroe.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, and I recognize the voice. The father of the groom. All right. And our other contestant, we've had a lot of Stoughton-ites lately. Very big in Stoughton. This is Dan in Stoughton. Dan, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Great to have you. All right. It is Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Jeff, I will give you the choice because you were the first caller. Do you want Jesse's questions or Hunter's questions?
I take Hunter's.
All right. There you have it. Question number one then, Jeff, is this. What phenomenon created the Dells of Wisconsin Dells? Was it glaciers, earthquakes, or Chicago Bears fans' tears realizing Caleb Williams isn't the guy?
Glaciers.
Correctamundo, 1 for 1. All right, Dan, your first question from Jesse's batch is this. Which Wisconsin high school plays its home football games on Tony Romo Field, dedicated in honor of the former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and current CBS analyst who graduated from the school in 1998? Is it Burlington, Kimberly, or it's actually the Tony Romo? I don't know, Jim. Which is very clever, actually.
that
was good.
I'm going to have to say Burlington.
You would be correct. Well done. All right, question 2.
Hunter, that was a good joke. That was really well done, Hunter.
Yeah, that was Jesse's. Unfortunately. Question 2, Jeff, from Hunter's questions, is this. Which of these rivers does not directly connect to the Mississippi River? Which of these rivers does not directly connect to the Mississippi River? Is it the St. Croix River, the Wisconsin River or the Milwaukee River that does not directly connect to the mighty Mississippi?
Milwaukee River.
2 for 2. I like it.
Boy, that was quick.
Yeah, he ain't messing around with his waterways. Question 2, Dan, is this. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest south? Farthest south. Is it Sturtevant, Stockbridge, or your town of Stoughton?
Well, I've only heard of my town of Stoughton out of those. Shoot, I don't know where. I don't know. Stoughton's pretty close to Illinois, so I'll say Stoughton.
Saying his town. What are the chances of having a contestant from Stoughton having a question with Stoughton in the question? The problem is that that's not correct. The correct answer, Sturtevant. Sturtevant.
Tough one to spell. Sturtevant.
All right, question 3. Jeff, is this. Which of these cities has the largest population? Is it Oshkosh, La Crosse, or New Berlin?
Ooh.
I'm going to say Oshkosh.
That's what I would guess, too.
And you'd be correct. 3 for 3 for Jeff and Monroe.
Bang.
Would have been nice if Monroe would have been one of the choices there. All right, question 3, Dan. Chance to bounce back after Stoughton. Rib Mountain State Park, home to Rib Mountain, which peaks at 1,942 feet of elevation, is located outside of which Wisconsin city? Is Rib Mountain State Park located outside of Eau Claire, Platteville, or Wausau?
Wausau.
Yes, sir! Woo! All right, Jeff, you got 4 entries. You went 3 for 3. Well done, buddy.
Thanks.
Great to have you back.
Have a good day.
Maybe tomorrow we'll have Jeff and Monona to really confuse me. Dan, you got 2 out of 3, so you still got 3 of the possible 4 entries. Good luck in the drawing on Friday.
Right.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, thanks. Love you guys.
Nice.
I love you guys.
Kind of a late love you guys there. I like how he
Yeah,
did
I didn't
that.
think it wasn't a ton of enthusiasm, so I wasn't really sure where he was, and he kind of snuck that in. That was nice.
I like it. Well executed, Dan. Appreciate you. That is Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
How close is Oshkosh and La Crosse to population? Because I'm assuming they're both bigger than New Berlin, right?
Hunter, you did the research. You tell us.
Oshkosh is at, according to the 2020 census, 66,816. La Crosse, 52,680. And then New Berlin, 40,451.
So New Berlin, definitely not the correct answer there.
Yes.
Indeed. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Wall Hunter, brought to you by the Dallas Cowboys, the Gerald Ford Presidential Library, and the new Superman movie is next.
Oh, God.
It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. If you're looking for a place where you can better yourself while having a wonderful atmosphere, you have it at the Princeton Club. Strong communities, strong body, and strong mind. All it takes is one small step to start today. You will see that you have everything you need in order to achieve all of your goals. Find your better tomorrow at the Princeton Club. 8 Madison locations where you go in there, you take a tour, and you realize this is a place for me. Find more at PrincetonClub.net.
Pizza lovers, when the craving hits, hit back with Pizza Hut's $5 Crafted Flats pizzas. Mark Tausch here, and new at Pizza Hut, 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, chicken bacon ranch, and Nashville hot chicken. All just $5 each all day. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or game day. Order your $5 handcrafted flats at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app. And remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will eat up some of the toughest terrains with 5 available drive modes. And Silverado and Silverado HD have the muscle to take you out for some serious with multiple engine options and impressive towing. While Silverado EV is the perfect combo of performance and capability, making it a snap to hitch up this electric truck and hit the road. Wherever the road leads, Chevy trucks are right there with you. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common, GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's Top Prospect Camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
My name is Rob, and I was seriously injured. When I think of Gruber Law Offices, I think of an honest, hardworking team who will fight to represent you. Couldn't be happier with the call that I made that day.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We're on the Badgers.
The schedule, as we all know, it's very challenging, daunting, however you want to describe it.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
He wants guys who want to jump at the opportunity to play against a schedule like that.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
We like to think of him as our Superman. When Jesse is unavailable, he gets out of the phone booth. Does the new Superman change in a phone booth? Or have we eliminated that part from the narrative?
They've eliminated that. He doesn't do that in a phone booth.
Yeah, I heard that movie sucks.
I did. I heard that from you, actually.
Is it on airplanes yet? Heading to Tuscaloosa Friday. Will that be on the airplane yet?
It might be, because I know they shortened its theater run for some of the other DC shows that are coming out.
Wonder why? Hunter, why? If it was such a raging success?
Yeah, the $125 million it made in profit. Man, that really sucks compared to the last DC movie that only made 60.
I'm glad I could start reignite this debate just in time.
It's a critical case of Tausch not knowing ball, and that's what drives me crazy.
I don't know ball because I'm not a movie guy, so I can't have an opinion on movies. I'm not going to go into that whole thing, but I've seen this movie before.
My fault. Time now for Whoa Hunter.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde and Tausch.
Before we get into some Dallas Cowboys stuff, I don't have any Gerald Ford, but I need to bring up some of the games that are coming up on the college football slate. For Tausch's plane ride back, maybe. These are all games that happen after the Badger game, and if you could only pick one of these games, I want to know which one you guys would watch.
Steelers-Jets. That's got to be it. I would have watched last week's Steelers-Jets game.
You tell me I'm predictable all the time. I knew the minute he said which of these games what was coming. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Number 16, Texas A&M at number 8, Notre Dame on NBC and Tausch's favorite streaming platform, Peacock.
Oh, we do love that.
Oh.
Number 18, South Florida at number 5, Miami on the CW. So then you can watch some reruns of Smallville after. Or number 6, Georgia at number 15, Tennessee on ABC.
Yeah, I'm going to probably go Georgia, Tennessee. South Florida deserves its flowers. They beat Florida last week. They're off to a great start. I think they kicked Boise State's teeth in. But there's no Big Ten games yet, I guess, right? Is that how we're looking at this? There is SEC.
The Ducks are at Northwestern, so you might get the inflatable duck out on Lake Michigan. But I don't want to watch Oregon put up 70 on Northwestern.
Okay. So I'm going to go Georgia, Tennessee, but I'll be honest. If Superman and or The Accountant 2 is available, that's what I'll be watching on the flight.
Okay. Jason?
The Accountant 2.
Yeah, I saw part of it, and then I tell you, it's usually where I watch the movies, and that's but if Maverick is on, that's what I watch on airplanes. I'll probably watch that again.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, it pains me to say this, but you're right about Maverick. Like every time it's that, there's 2 movies now that have entered my list of movies that I watch if they're on, and I just stumble into them. And one is Maverick. The other one was on last night. It was Invincible, the Vince Papale story with Wahlberg.
Mark.
And then Jack Reacher also, for some reason, which is, I don't think that Cruise fits the suit generally there, but he's also Jack Reacher, and I enjoy watching that too. So I'm not watching any of these games. Let's just be honest.
Boo.
Whoa, Nelly!
Okay. As promised, some Dallas Cowboys talk.
Oh, no! I thought we were going to get Gerald Ford.
No.
Didn't you hear? He said in the beginning he didn't have any. He didn't have any Gerald Ford.
I thought he'd find some.
Yeah, surprisingly, Gerald Ford not in the news much anymore. It was announced today.
Book Tausch is reading.
The Cowboys are working out Jadeveon Clowney because apparently they need a pass rusher.
Cowboys got a cowboy. Hunter, I know you appear on Mr. Irrelevant. Lord knows you fill in here a fair amount because of Jesse's absences. I don't know if I actually heard, and not everyone listens to every show every day. As our resident Cowboys fan, where are you at on Micah Mania for the Green Bay Packers and the fact that your wild, crazy old owner got rid of arguably the best player your team had on its roster?
I was in a bad spot when it first happened. It was really hard for me to watch the Badger game knowing that had just taken place with the trade. I've kind of gotten to the point now where it's like you see your ex in a healthy relationship and you're just kind of like, okay, I might not be in a same level relationship, but I'm good. I'm okay. Like there's nothing else I can do. The Cowboys are going to do this. They're going to break my heart. They're going to let me down. It's what they've done for the last 30 years, and I just kind of have to deal with it, and that's what it is. As much as I tried to redshirt the season, the second Dak hit CeeDee Lamb for a big pass against Philly, I was back. And I'm just it's not healthy. It's not good, but it is what it is.
You're in an abusive relationship, like Tausch pointed out I was with Rodgers when he would... Every time he would make it difficult to book him on the show. All right, so I'm glad you're in a good place, and I'm glad Micah's in an even better place because he's made things very interesting for my job.
Yeah, and it's been kind of fun being able to, I've seen a number of Packer fans tweeting about how Micah doesn't get, penalties called against him. And I was like, yeah, welcome to the last couple years. It's weird. Guy's going to get chokeslammed by a tackle, and they just won't call it. He went until week 16 one season before he drew a holding penalty.
Hey, guess how many sacks he had against Jaden Daniels last year?
4.5.
That's pretty good. Oh, do we have to contain Rush? Oh, and I heard Micah say yesterday, no, there ain't nobody outrunning me. I thought that was kind of BA.
I enjoyed that too. Yes, that was very good.
Very BA.
Whoa, Nelly!
Real quick, because I don't think you guys talked about this yesterday. It may not have come out. The Denver Broncos announced that they're building a new stadium in Denver. It will have a retractable roof so they can host Final Fours as well as Super Bowls. And it is 100% privately funded. Plus, they're returning what will be the old stadium to the city for them to use for parking or whatever it is they want to use it for. This needs to become the new standard, right?
I don't think it's going to.
It should, though.
But boy, I did not. Smaller story, and I wasn't following it. I totally missed that because I'm in the midst of Micah mania. Wow, really?
Yeah, that's
nobody
from what
does
I saw.
that.
Yeah,
nobody builds their own stadium anymore. Is that?
Well, maybe the Bears will do that. The Bears will do the same thing.
Oh, Narlington. Who owns the? Who owned? Are they the descendants of the Walmart guy?
I think that's still the family. I don't remember.
So they've done
though.
okay for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good to know. That is Whoa Hunter for today. Thank you again to Hunter for stepping into Jesse's role as our cousin sub of the day because Jesse. What are we putting that allegation out there?
He's got the sniffles. Yeah, I think he's got sniffles.
Well, maybe it's just because he didn't responsibly have his cousin.
Oh, I'm not going to put
Coors
that
Lights.
out there. You guys can put that out there. I'm going to speak for me, and whether you're tailgating pregame, enjoying a big volleyball win against Milwaukee.
Maybe too much.
With some teammates. Celebrating that big win. You just need a moment to chill. Crack open a Rocky Mountain Cold Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold packaged, so it is made to chill. Coors Light, it is refreshing, and it is only 102 calories. But make sure you celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tausch here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Well, this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and 0 interest financing for 12 months. My new buddy Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by Bruner Realty, providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for over 30 years. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get housed today. Barry Alvarez preaching a message to Wisconsin football. Ignore the Crimson Tide's past and solely focus on what will be in front of them come Saturday. More from Coach during the latest episode of the Barry Alvarez Show.
You're not playing Joe Namath, and you're not playing all those great Alabama teams in the past. You're playing the Cats that show up. That's who you're playing. It's a good team. You have to respect them. You're playing on the road. You know, it's a hostile environment. That's okay, but don't make this bigger than what it is. Don't make them better than who they are.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. PellaWI.com.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Free Food Friday on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Vintage Brewing Company. Whether you're looking to get carry-out, delivery, or dine-in, Vintage Brewing has lots of great options on their menu. Vintage Brewing Company prides themselves on being a great place to hang out and enjoy classic Midwestern hospitality. Vintage Brewing Company has multiple award-winning beers, so be sure to try one the next time you're in. Head to VintageBrewingCompany.com to make a reservation today. That's VintageBrewingCompany.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
It is one of those weeks, a short week. So tomorrow on a Thursday, it is game day. So we'll have headlines, although they're not as good as the singing ones that we have our own album of on Spotify. We'll have our green and gold game preview. We'll have our prize picks. We will not have the weekend preview where I will be saying that whatever game Aaron Rodgers is playing in, it will be the game that I'm most interested in. He played really well, by the way. I know it wasn't the prime time thriller.
I don't know. I didn't get to see it.
No, well, you chose not to see it, from what I understand. Tausch, quick question, though, because this was the thing that we were talking about with players yesterday. And look, they have to play another Thursday game on Thanksgiving. You've talked about Thanksgiving a lot, how you get home in time for Thanksgiving because it's in Detroit and you fly home. Good to get the Thursday night game out of the way in week 2. If you were a player on this team, would you be pleased that you're doing it now?
No. I think the tough part about that is you don't play in the preseason, and you haven't played 60, 70 snaps in a long time, and all of a sudden you have to recover. I'd rather get 4 or 5 games in to the season, and then you start feeling it. You never want to play Thursday. No players want to play on Thursday. This is just one of the deals that you'll deal with. But if you're going to play, I would prefer it be maybe 4 or 5 more weeks down the road than right out of the gate.
And the other topic that we discussed with them was harder on a short week, being where you want to be mentally or being where you want to be physically. What was it for you?
Physically.
Yeah.
I think physically, because the mental side of it, everything just speeds up. But you also see that you get a mini bye week after. Mm-hmm. So it's just about, physically, can you get ready? Because especially for older players, a lot of times it would take till Thursday or Friday to get right from a Sunday game. Now you're asking to be right by Wednesday so you can go, and I know coaches, the nice part is the practice week, a lot less taxing than what a normal practice week is.
Sure.
But you still have to bounce back, and if you feel anything like, obviously Banksy's feeling and Zach Tom, and I don't know if there's anybody else, you're going to have to battle through it, or you're going to miss a game that maybe if it was on a Sunday you wouldn't.
Right. All right, well, that's it for us today. We will get you ready for tomorrow night's game on Wilde and Tausch tomorrow. Coming up next, Rich Eisen has our friend Frank Caliendo in studio, so you don't want to miss that. Rich Eisen coming up next. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Chevy trucks have you covered when the road takes you from smooth sailing to Chevy Colorado will